Hi there, join me in this video when I'm at RSPB Consall Woods. This is a completely new reserve for me. I've not been here before, and it's also quite a new reserve for the RSPB. They only took charge of this site about 4 years ago, and they took it over from the council. Now it's quite close to RSPB Coombs Valley, and they are part of the same group, and so I'm hoping that I'll see some of the pied flycatchers that have taken up residence here. I've been talking to one of the volunteers and they said that they've put some nest boxes up, and so hopefully I'll see those today. But if I don't, I'll have a nice walk exploring this new reserve, so come along with me because I know that I'm really going to enjoy my photography. Looking at the map here, there are lots of routes and paths at Consall Woods to explore. I'm not really going to have time to do them all today, so I've picked out a couple to have a walk round, but they are handily marked with these coloured marker posts. So I'm going to look at the red route and the green route today if I've got time. I'll certainly have time for the red route. So let's waste no more time and let's get cracking. The tricky thing is with woodland work like this is it's often difficult to see the birds. Now I was still quite lucky because I'm only towards the middle of April, so there isn't a lot of leaf canopy, but there is a chiff-chaff up in the top of this tree. I don't know whether you can hear it over the microphone, and I can see it as well every so often, but because it's so high up in the tree it keeps getting obscured by branches, so it's very difficult to take a good photograph of it. So the catch-22 is whether I wait here for it to possibly to come lower or whether I leave it to its business and move on to try and spot something else. So I think I'll wait just for a while and see what it does. The key to bird photography is patience. I've used my ID app and I've heard blackcaps, song thrushes, missel thrushes, chiff-chaffs, lots of different varieties. The whole woodland is alive with birds, but until you slow down and stop like I just have, and I've sat on this bench for 5 minutes, then you start to notice things. I did notice some blue tits up in the top of a tree. I didn't get a very good shot of those because they were too far away. And then a wren landed quite close to where I'm sitting, so I got some video of that and some photographs. So it just goes to show that slowing down and taking a bit of time really does pay off. I'm now in the area where the nest boxes are, and I have stood for about 10 or 15 minutes watching a few of the nest boxes, and so far I've seen no sign of activity. The bird life seems to have decreased a little bit. I did hear a raven over on the other side of the valley a little while ago, which was quite interesting, but no sign of any pied flycatchers by these nest boxes just here. And the further away that I've got from the visitor centre, the worse the condition of the paths have become. They were very nice close to the visitor centre, they'd got some hardcore down, but now they're getting very muddy and it's getting steep as well just where I am at the moment, so I'm having to be quite careful how I'm walking. Now on days like this, then it is worth bearing in mind that there are still lots of other things that you can photograph, and here there are some really interesting trees. There were some very old trees that had got moss growing on them that were catching the sun, and that was quite nice. And I've just found an old tree with some dead leaves on it that was quite interesting against the darker background. So it's worth taking photographs of other things. Even though I've come here specifically for the birds, I can still photograph other things. And with that in mind, I do carry my 24 to 200mm lens in my pocket just in case I need it. So far today I haven't, because I've managed to get all the photographs I wanted at the wide end of my 100 to 400mm lens. But keep that in mind when you're out taking photographs of birds. If they're not showing, there are still plenty of other things to photograph. I could probably do this entire walk again and find lots to photograph just photographing trees and the undergrowth. Every time you go out with a camera, you don't need to get absolutely brilliant photographs that you can put in an album or enter into a competition or put on a wall. Sometimes, more importantly, you just need to enjoy the experience. And I'm here in this beautiful woodland by the side of this stream that I've found, and it's just so relaxing and calming that I'm still having a great time despite not really seeing very many birds to photograph. There's a patch of wood anemone just here. So what I've done to make sure I can get the shot is I've taken the camera right down, very low to the ground, to give me quite an interesting depth of field. So it's going to be quite shallow, the depth of field. So I'm only really focusing on one flower, but I've made sure there's some flowers in front that will be out of focus and some flowers behind that will be out of focus. And I quite like it. Now it might not be to everybody's taste because there is such a shallow depth of field. So I've used quite a wide aperture to get that, but I still quite like it. It turns out that when I got home and looked at the pictures, some of them were much better than I expected, so I'll show you those now. I really do think this reserve has got so much potential. It's such a lovely location. It's a great walk and there's lots of routes that I've not even touched today. We've got these ponds here behind me. Now I've just seen a couple of mallard on this pond, so there's not a lot of wildlife just at the moment, but as it begins to establish and it becomes more well managed, I'm sure it's going to be really, really good. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, do let me know down below in the comments, or nip over to my Instagram or Vero account, that's at Oakden Photography. Leave me a comment there, and you can also see lots of my photographs. Now, if you like what I do on the channel and want to help support me to make future content like this, then you can leave via the gift shop, that's at Teespring. There I've got a range of merchandise on offer, so head off over there because the purchase really does help me out and it's very much appreciated. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking like, subscribe and the bell notifications. It really helps me out and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Watch out for next week's video, that goes live on Sunday. In the meantime, you can go and check out this video just up here. But all that's left now is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.